Jeff, can I get a second?
I'll second.
Nick? All right, public comment? Nothing. Public hearing, none. We'll go with the staff reports. We'll start with the website and Facebook page with Krista Vin. She's on. Hello, Krista.
Okay, hi.
Hello. So I brought you on here because we're just, I just want you to share with the group a little bit about what you have done. Since you've done quite a bit lately with the website and stuff. So
Yeah.
if you could explain it to them, what's all has changed or and
Yeah,
what is gonna
so,
change.
I'm gonna share my screen.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the Dunn County Fair section of the website. Basically, I transferred all the content over from the external website to be housed under the main county website. So I just brought everything over, kind of started laying it out. I mean, this can always be updated. It doesn't have to look exactly like this. I added the emissions on the right-hand side. I add the carnival pricing because I checked and I saw that was in the contract with Badgerland Midways, and I know people will be very interested in knowing what that cost is. I just took the Fair Week hours that were on the external site. So I don't know if these will change at all, but we can always make those updates. The contact information about the fair, volunteer opportunities, and then I added these buttons to go. So for the carnival, I added the pricing information there again. And then there's a section on the right-hand side that goes to all the different pages and back to the home page. The entertainment section, I did add the Chris Cruzy information. And once all the other entertainment information is available, I'll add that as well. The fair book items are there with all the forms. The Meat Animal Project, again, everything is there. I just added some sponsor information, how somebody can become a sponsor. I took that from the external site as well. And then the vendor information, how people can, become a member for that space. And I do have a bunch of fair pictures, but currently I just put like the Speedway grandstand pictures here. When I have more time, I would like to add more of the fair pictures that I'd taken from the last few years. And I can add all of that here. So there's a nice, photo of them with pictures. So basically it's all the same content, just laid out on the internal or the county owned website. So do you guys have any questions?
What do you guys think?
Will we be able to add like somewhere on the main page, like buy tickets?
Yep. So for the carnival,
Just for like fair admission?
yeah, we could definitely add something under the admission section here. I can add a link or something where people can go to buy tickets, or whether it's online or a phone number or an email. Yeah, we can definitely add that.
You gotta press the button.
Sorry, I'm new to this. I've been gone a little while. Are we offering electronic payment for admission into the fair? Or are we still cash only at the gate?
I am unsure of that.
The goal is to allow electronic payment with either a new accounting software that has this possibility that we're rolling out in March of this year. A lot more intuitive than our current accounting system. So the goal, whatever way they were doing it before, was not conducive at the gate for the Knights of Columbus guys. But
I love it. I
Yeah.
just think the idea potentially, to simplify that, if we are allowing pre-purchase for admission to the fair, then the purchaser could get a QR code that could be scanned by the gate attendees to then tell that gate attendee exactly what was purchased. If it was a season pass or a day pass or a family pass, but love that idea.
Yep. Once we get everything figured out with the new ERP system, we can look into that a lot further. But that would be a great addition to the website.
All right, you guys have any other questions for Krista? Looks pretty impressive to me. I mean, that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
I was wondering if, I was looking at the Badgerland stuff. I was wondering if we shouldn't share that to our Facebook.
Yes, I can definitely share that information.
Because
Do you
a lot of
want me
people
to
don't like-
share the pricing and everything?
What do you guys think?
Well, basically whatever you have there, put on Facebook too.
Okay, because I did look at their website and obviously like purchasing tickets in advance isn't quite open yet. But I can just say something to the fact of this is who's doing the carnival. This is what the pricing is expected to be, and stay tuned for a date
I
for
don't think we
purchase.
can, I don't think we can over communicate the information that we have available.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people are asking about this new carnival, and I think if they didn't get on here, just put it on Facebook for them.
Right.
Yeah. No.
Mhm.
They're wanting the information, we might as well give it to them.
Yeah, I can definitely do that.
Anything else you guys can see while she's on here? Cause she runs her Facebook site too.
Yep.
So anything you guys think of that else you want on there besides Badgerland, we can just let me know. Otherwise, if you think something now, we can let her know. I mean, one thing is, go ahead. Yeah, I think Troy was saying that earlier about adding, you were talking about your weigh-in that's coming up. That you wanted.
Yeah, Zach sent that out.
Yeah, but Zach sent it out, but I didn't know if it's something, you know, so.
Yeah, if it's something that you can put on your website and then I can link it when I send it out, that would help out me and the 4-H members.
Mhm.
Larry's got a question. All right.
Is there, do we tell the public much about, on the meat animal project, the previous buyers and, exhibitors? I mean,
Yeah,
any
this-
names out there?
This past year, it got shared early, but it never, if I'm not mistaken, we didn't have that on there. It never from the previous person that had it, didn't.
Because I mean, getting those kids' name out there is important as, the buyers.
Actually, if I remember right, it did not get out there.
Okay.
It didn't, okay. Yeah, we should probably, make, good idea, Larry.
From the auction.
Yeah, from the auction stuff,
Yeah.
and we'll put Badgerland, and then we'll think of something with Krista and put on the website for that. Good idea.
As a cover, speaking to that point, love that too, but we may want to collectively as a group, have 2 sign-offs, one from the parents of the exhibitor, right? Parent signature saying it's okay to use their name online and pictures online, and then same from the buyers when they're registering. Just get their approval with registration saying that we can use their photos and name for promoting their business.
Is that at the auction you're talking?
Yeah, correct. That way we have that so that we can put their pictures.
Cause they put it
Out
on the
here with
meat
the kids.
animal.
And we
They make
normally every year, we took the pictures this year, turned them all in, but nothing ever got done with them.
So,
Just saying independently, then we as a fair board can promote that through what we're doing
yeah,
here.
good idea.
Do it
Okay.
more in one spot.
Just kind of the CYA to have in place so we don't have to go back after the fact. We have it up front
Okay.
in writing, then we can use those photos or names to promote the businesses that are supporting our kids.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I appreciate your time, Krista. You guys have any more questions for? her? No?
Okay, sounds
Thanks
good.
again.
Thank you.
Yeah, you guys have a good night.
You too.
Thank you.
All right, We're gonna move to the Knights of Columbus, reports and discussions and decisions. As you see, it's down here as an action item too, about a couple other things that we have to kind of vote on, but this one here, is the first of all, we had discussed, that they wanted $4,000 to $4,500, instead of their, I want to say it was $3,500, right, Scott, that they were getting paid. We need to, make that as a group decision, and get this passed. How much money are we going to give the Knights of Columbus this year? They had previously asked, if I'm not mistaken, it was $4,000, right? Oh, oh, okay.
We can talk about
Okay, we can talk about it. I just can't discuss it, I guess, but
we can make a decision down.
down in the, but we're,
I double it up there.
Let
Okay.
that just skip over it and talk about it later.
all right. Can we just table that for a minute? Okay. All right, Austin, your facilities.
This is Kim. She came down from administration. Daughter.
They did, she did a huge project, but she's 21 now, son.
She was, the county. To, facilities and, very appreciative to have her down here and, she's hit the ground running. And is going to, as long as we don't scare away from it, lead the charge of the Fair Board treasurer. And if there's any time she can't make it to any of these Monday night monthly meetings, she'll let me know whatever we need to talk about for it on the facilities and parks. And I'm just gonna add the treasurer stuff through this too. Just a few things moving over to 2026. And that's a $2,000 deposit I'm doing a carry forward for some barn fans that we had a donation from Syngenta. Did I say that right? Okay. And then, so I'm gonna move that over to 2026, as well as the MAP money, which is around $7,500 to 2026. Other than that, you factor those things out, and 2025 ended around 18,000 to the negative. And then we can, I left, some invoices here we can talk about, too. But other than that, right around there for 2025, if you factor those things out. And on the park side, not much for report, but 2026 is the year that the Dunn County Board allocated that 30,000 towards horse barn repairs. We can maybe figure out through this group on finding a way to make that go as far as it can, whether it be, us trying to make that move or saving this money and carrying it forward, seeing if we can get some more to get that horse barn moved over and flip flop with the racetrack entrance. Seems like everybody on board from this group to the 4-H group to the race cars are on board with that idea. It just takes a little bit more than 30,000 to put a horse barn together. I'd love just to pick it up and move it, but I was told it's made full of nails, not even screws. So, but getting creative and some help from different organizations, or maybe getting on Clint's assembly budget for the next go around here would go a long ways. But that's what's on the docket. And let me know if you have any questions.
I got a question on that 30,000 that we talked about for, it's been there for a couple of years. Should we maybe redefine it as seed money for a new project? I mean, instead of starting for zero on making a move that, maybe there'd be incidental expenses, or if we wanted to, invite the community to see what's what at the racetrack and the horse barn area, cause I think if you were able to bring a lot of those folks in town that, are directly affected by the sound of the racetrack to some sort of, I don't know what event that, and find those plans that were supposedly drawn at one time and you pull it up and you have it on a bulletin board and you offer people a can of pop and if Horse Project wants to have a hot dog cookout and maybe let's even commingle some racers in there and kind of get everybody thinking about, what we both could have in a better situation that they're at now. So got a little money, find a way to spend it to promote the change.
If the facilities committee wanted to reallocate a little bit of other CIP money that is allocated towards pavement over at the rec park and something like that, there is some other budget that could be reallocated if the facilities committee wanted to do something like that too. But yeah, it'd take every organization involved to pull something like this off. But if we're gonna put money into something, let's put money into something that is not at the end of its useful life in the wrong spot to begin with. Mhm.
Thanks. So a couple things. I met with Katie, was Jacobson, now Baumhover, I think is her last name now. So she is going to be small animal project leader and superintendent for the fair. So I suggested to her, see how you feel, Derek, about like maybe us and Katie and her mom, Shelly, who's doing the horse, like all sitting down and just hashing out what is superintendent, what is 4-H, and how the roles work together, but all the separate as well. I just don't want a horse project situation again, really. So,
When do you guys start your rides? Do you-
small animal meets for the rides for Shelly. They are going to start. They're going to meet April 12th without horses, and then they're going to ride after that.
Could we bring them into the April meeting and then they can kind of introduce it to everybody and we can kind of define roles in and they can ask the questions to all the board members in case they have a problem.
I think that's a great idea. Yeah.
You'll be able to invite,
Yep, I can reach out to them for sure.
and then we might as well talk about the small animal stuff while they're here, because Katie's doing that part, right?
Yep, Katie's doing that. So, yeah, I think same message, but for both of them. We have at least 4 youth interested in doing a rabbit hopping activity at the fair. We tried that a couple years ago and it was not well organized. I'm hoping to do it better. So it'd be like a 4-H fun event this year. And if we can get something going, it can be a fair event that's judged and whatnot. But if you guys are okay with that, we'll try to find a way to schedule that in. It's like dog agility, but with rabbits. It's pretty fun. So if you guys are okay with that, we can try to find a place where that fits in the schedule and we can do that in the small animal barn too. That's about it. 2 themes came in so far, but we have till next meeting, so I'm sure we'll have a couple more after that. So
The deadline.
next meeting, if exactly what I said for the deadline, but in time for the March 2nd meeting.
All right, any questions for Zach? Good, okay. All right, Troy, you're up with the weigh-in and what's going on with that.
Well, I don't know actually weigh-in's February 14th is, for the beef. Yeah, so if you wanna take your wife on a date, Valentine's Day night,
Yeah.
come to the beef weigh-in. That's when, Delkai's wanted to do it, so beef needs to be signed in.
On that date, is there any alternate that can be set at this point?
It
Because
is not mandatory this year to be there
Okay.
and they can Paperwork needs to be turned in person, either on that date or ahead of time.
Cause that's high school sectional wrestling.
Taken care of. So, yeah, so beef weigh-in is not mandatory this year. Well, last year it wasn't, but that was because of weather. So that needs to be the beef paperwork needs to be turned in YQCA, and that is not due until the sheep and goat pig deal in the spring. That is when that is due, but otherwise, not a lot new. I think we got our new EIN number. I think just came in the mail the other day for our own nonprofit. So that should, well, the envelope came from the IRS. So, but didn't open it, so that should be there but yeah, otherwise just weigh in. Nothing else really new. Unless I don't know if you wanted to talk like about the concrete slab, or you have that later, or?
That's later.
Okay. That'd be it on the map end.
All right, thanks, Troy. All right, we're gonna go for the fair wrap-up item that was put out there. Austin, I don't have one of those copies. I started giving them all away, but do you want to talk about it a little bit, please?
There was just an invoice that came in, this morning, from Deb, from Samantha Deacon for $600 for the design work of the calendar year of 2025 for advertising, but, looking back at the previous years, everything was dated around, May 1st or April 1st of 24 and 25, but none of those years say what year it's for. So I was assuming those, I'm just confused by it. And I've asked the Fair Board here for months for any remaining invoice for 2025. And since October, there should have been nothing else to hit. So this one coming in now is confusing to me. If it's something that the Fair Board would like the Facilities Department to pay, we will, but that can be your decision.
I think part of the discussion, like maybe on the amount, cause normally like she is the one that would put all the photos of the buyers, and the kids at the fair, on the website and stuff like that, and that didn't get done this year, so I guess on my end from the map side that we had all the pictures taken, we got them all sent off but it never got put up anywhere on a website. I think the year prior, it was done the night of the auction. It was on there, so that would be my only, thing. And normally Sam was there taking pictures herself too, and she was not this year, but I guess on the map side, I don't know what else she does or has done, but I know on that side of things, this year that didn't happen.
Are the first two just, old invoices?
I
Like,
brought those up just to look back and see when stuff was invoiced and what the verbiage was on it. It's vague.
yeah,
So the only one that says for the year is this last one that was dated January 30th, 2026.
with a likewise vague description.
The design work for the calendar year of 25, but then the years before, general labor.
So obviously, this got sent to you, but there was nothing, that the board knew about it prior to this? Anybody else know about it?
No,
Okay. Well, I guess we gotta ask you guys what we wanna do with this. Scott?
Well, there was a lot of things that went on that we weren't all privy to, so I guess until Deb is here, because she is the one who sent the invoice in. To say, if this is for last fair for services rendered, we should pay it. Whether we liked the job that was done, it doesn't matter. That was a contract that was verbal or whatever between Sam and Deb that we should pay it, but I question, it's weird that the invoices on the other ones are April and this is now January, that this is when this came in. Is she trying, is this for this year or for last year?
I agree. And this is nothing against her. I just, I'm in the same boat. Okay? So as a person talking, I don't think it's right when he had asked multiple times to have invoices turned in since last year, September, and now we're just finding out about this. That's my problem with it. Anybody else got anything to say about it? Otherwise, if you have questions for this, we can make the decision or we'll have to table it until you can answer her. But, I don't know if she's coming to the next meeting, so. What would you guys like to do? Oh,
Next month, if this is an action item on next month or however needs to happen, that'd be the last month that we'd be able to take care of this for 2025.
I would make a motion to table it until next meeting. Hopefully we can get a hold of Deb on it.
Is there a second? Discussion?
I just think that we need a clarification. That, and an assurance that, the work was for last year. And maybe even, I don't know, are we talking about something that you hold up and say, this is what I did for this fair? You know, cause,
Yeah,
I mean, it's,
I'm not a big fan of what just happened, to be
no,
honest with you.
can't do that.
I don't personally, just as discussion, I wouldn't table it. At my decision, I would say no, because this was something that was asked. After I thought about it, it was asked multiple times about something coming, but Scott, you have a point. Okay? What was the agreement between the two? But Troy has another point. What work has got done that we've seen going into this? So,
And I'd like to see what work was done. I'm not a big fan of either.
I hear you. So,
Could I present an amended motion?
well, there has to be a vote first, don't there? Or is it amended?
No, you got that.
Well, what I would suggest doing is, putting it on for an action item to vote, pay or not pay next month with a caveat that at that meeting, no action in providing reference or documentation as to what took place. If we don't receive anything in support of this invoice, then it's an automatic no. If we do receive information, the board to review it at that meeting to see if it meets the burden of proof for action having been taken, especially since there was a 2025 invoice that I'm assuming had been paid from April 1st for the same dollar amount, which would essentially lead me to believe that it was $600 twice for the same fare. So that would be my motion to take a vote next month. And in the meantime, right, asking for that backup, and if we don't receive any, that's an automatic no. If we do receive it, review and vote by the board as to whether or not it's adequate proof for payment.
Is there a second to that motion? It's a great motion.
I second it. I don't know what you said, but.
Oh, yeah. The yeah.
The recording will be.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Discussion on that? All right. Everybody in favor of that? Aye.
I,
Same sign? All right, we're good. All right, put that on there. All right, I'm gonna assume that you're Bill.
I am.
All right, I had asked Bill Sparks, as you guys know, from iHeartRadio to come and talk to us. Would you mind stepping up there?
Absolutely. I can
Is that
absolutely go
on?
wherever you need me to be. Where do you want me at the podium? Yeah, at the podium, if you don't mind. Yeah, make me go up there and, oh, yeah. It's totally fine. So, hi, I'm Bill. I'm with iHeartMedia, and well, I would probably say at least the last 20 years, we have been, or more, we have been a partner with the Dunn County Fair in some way, shape, or form, in doing something and being a part of that event. I'm going to start out first, just because people don't know what they don't know. I just want to know what your thoughts are. And number one, what do you know about what iHeartMedia does for you guys? And I know some of you knew, some of you aren't. So I'm just going to start with a clean slate. And what do you know that what we do and what we don't?
You charge a lot to advertise.
Sure,
Put signs by a stage.
I do that too.
Yeah, if you could give us an overview of what you do
Okay.
for the fair and.
So what we do for the fair is, it is advertising. You're not wrong. The whole point of what we do is to try and advertise and promote the fair, get more people to it, let people know that there is an event happening and where to find tickets and all the different things that go along with it. So I will go back. I will age myself. I've been doing this for 26 years, this April. So I've been there a while. 26 years ago, all I had was one flavor. It was called radio, and I had 6 flavors of that radio, and that was it. Since then, it has evolved a lot. And we can do anything and everything under the sun when it comes to advertising. It just depends on what you're doing. And we only do a small portion of what I can handle. One, because of budget, but two, because you guys just don't need it because other people are doing it for you in some way, shape, or form. So I can do things on social media if you want. We don't do it because you guys can do it on your own and you don't need to pay me to do those silly things. But things you can't do on your own, is the radio portion of it. There are 2 parts to your radio broadcast. There is the paid portion. I mean, all of it's paid, but then we do give you some in kind for what you guys do. And what you guys give us. You guys usually give us Deb has in the past given us certificates and things of that nature. We hand things out. We do a lot of things on Moose Country Radio. I know that Maxine used to do some stuff with the auction and whatnot, and the animal auctions and whatnot. And, those are some things that we kind of did in kind and whatnot. The other thing we started doing about 3 years ago is we started doing what was called a direct targeted email. And that was, and basically that's exactly what it sounds like. It is an email that is sent out that is directed toward people who want to or possibly could go to the fair. It replaced what you guys were doing earlier, which was an insert into the Dunn County Shopper and whatnot. And the reason it was replaced, and this is 100% hearsay because I didn't replace it. I asked Deb, I said, well, would you like not to do that because of XYZ? She thought it was really expensive, not getting a lot, can't see the return. And she's like, I think her words were, I hate spending money in this stupid thing every year because I don't know what it does. But we've been doing it forever and a day. And so, that was the next call. And that was about 3.5 years ago. And I said, would you like not to do that anymore? She's like, why? Can you do it? I said, no, not the way you do it, but I can do it in targeted email. And that's what we have done. The targeted email, layman's terms, it is email that goes out to people. It is based on a geographic region. So it is within like a 35 or 40 mile radius of people within this area. And it is targeted not only by demographics, as in like age and income and things like that, but also interest. You guys are all going to laugh because a lot of the stuff that you guys do is, it has to do with the speedway and getting tickets sold there. And then they come to the fair and do all the different things. I literally target people who like things that are loud and things that go fast. So NASCAR people, motocross people, people who like to do events, outdoor music, those are the types of behaviors that I'm using. We get somewhere around 35 or 40,000 emails that come into that bucket, and then we send that out twice. And from that, now, because you have a ticketing system that people can actually go online, because you got that last year, people can now click on that. That goes directly to the ticketing site where they can actually buy tickets. So I can not only show you, you spent this money, I can show you this many people actually opened it, and I can show you this many people actually clicked on it. And then I can also go so far as this many people clicked on this link, which may or may not go to the ticketing site, but almost all of it goes to the ticketing site because that's the whole point. So those are the reasons why we've done those things. Questions?
People that click amount of people that click onto that email that you
Sure.
sent out, what is the number for the Dunn County Fair? What is?
I would have to go back and find out exactly what that is. I'd have to go back and look at the reports and see exactly what that is. But last time, I don't have an exact number. I have a percentage in my brain. And I think it was like 14 or 15% of the people who got the email actually opened it. And then I think 1.5 or 2% people actually clicked on it and went further. If you know anything about direct mail, if you get anything between 1 and 2%, you are screaming for the hills because it's a grand slam success. But those are the things we've opted for. Mainly it's radio. It's about 2.5 weeks before we start, before the fair, letting people know it's coming. We start doing ticket giveaways, maybe some live interviews, different things like that. Letting people know that, what's going on at the free stage. And then earlier in the month, we do an email right before the radio starts. And then closer to the event, we do another email to where that starts. This is a copy of the invoice. Fantastic. Who was ever on this is on this. I like it. So this tells you exactly, if you go to the top or the bottom, one of the two, it'll show you the whole kit and caboodle. So that was, no, this was, that's the total, and that includes the direct targeted email twice, as well as all the commercials that go along with it.
I had a question with this is, let's say is there a way to pick and choose what the fair board would like to maybe add on to or step away from?
This is your money. This is not mine. Everything that I have done over the last, however many years, I've done at the discretion of the board or an agent of the board. In this case, it's been Deb. I've had a really great relationship with Deb over the years, and it's either rinse or repeat, or hey, can we do this or can we not, so on and so forth. A lot of the radio stuff has been a rinse and repeat because it's easy to do. The pricing doesn't change too terribly much. The difference why this is probably a little larger than it has been in years past is just because of the minimums we require now for our targeted email. Before it was just one deployment at X amount. And I told her, I think almost 2 years ago, I said, as this increases, just know that this will increase and this is what this will be. So I think that portion, I don't know if it's exactly in here, but it should be. I keep going down slowly. I'll be able to tell you where it is. It should be under the digital portion because all this is radio right now. It's going to be toward the bottom. I know it is.
It's email.
There it is. So 2,000 for the first deployment, another 2,000 for the second deployment. The other $200, it's a part of it, is a redeployment that we send out to openers. So that's what the email costs to give you reference, because none of you have any reference of this whatsoever. According to Deb, she said that put stuff in the shopper, it was about $3,000 or $3,500, and it went to maybe 10,000 people. And then you have no way to track it. You don't know if anybody did anything with it. It just off it goes. And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that as a fiduciary of the board and the money that you guys spend, you want to see that something is actually happening with your dollar versus we spent the money and I'm not quite sure what it did. So, but yes, you have every right to step away. You have every right to do whatever you want. I would like you very much not to step away. I mean, I'd like to help you guys with what you guys have been doing, and continue to do that. If we need to do it in a different fashion, then we can do it in a different fashion, and that's okay too.
Is there a price point that offers a one-time distribution to refresh if it's not opened?
I'm not quite understanding the question.
So if that email hits my inbox
Mhm.
and I don't open it, right, I send it to junk, but I
Sure.
never click on the email.
Mhm.
Every so often, can it pop back into my inbox?
It depends. I'm not quite, so I will wholeheartedly admit, I don't know how that sausage is made. But I do, as far as that goes, but from what I understand is it goes out and it deploys. In order for us to get to a guaranteed 10% open rate, if we do not get to that point, then we keep redeploying until we get to that open rate. I will say that, so direct targeted email, I've been doing that with clients here locally, probably for the last 5 or 6 years. I have had one time when, because our guarantee is we guarantee, and I can never guarantee anything in my world. I can guarantee a 10% open rate. And so I raise my hand and say, how do we do that? Because we cannot guarantee anything. And they said, well, because we've never ever seen it lower than that. Well, I broke it because it was last 2 years ago, fall. We did an email deployment, different client, and we got a 4.5% deployment rate. An open rate, so it deployed and only 4%. And I said, hey, you guarantee 10, fix it. And that's exactly what they did. They kept redeploying. And as they deployed, again, this is where I don't know where the sausage is made. They're seeing optimizations and why it's not being opened. Maybe they're dead emails, whatever, but they keep doing it to a point. They got it to like 13.5. That was the first email deployment, after they did that a couple times. The next email that went out, all those learnings that they had, they got a 16.2% deployment rate as far as an open rate.
Was it deployed to the same recipients?
Yes. Because when we look at the targeting as it is, it's audience based and it's behavioral based. So
How's that data collected to get those email addresses?
it's collected from us. Honestly, it's our database. So people who have, and it is a double opt-in process. So if you're worried about compliance, CAN SPAN compliance, all those different things that get your ass in a ringer because of, we're not supposed to do these things, you don't have to worry about that because we worry about all of it. We use the highest standard in the land, which is right now California law. You laugh, but when it comes to privacy, they're about as strict as they come right now in the United States. So we use that standard and we deploy that across the entire United States. And and if it doesn't fly in California, it doesn't fly here. So that's how that works. But those are great questions.
My biggest question that I just saw with opening this the first time is just, I listen to the radio and most of these stations a lot, and I think myself, and when some of us have talked to each other about this, we haven't heard these advertisements for this. And then you look at the times that these time slots are for. It's when Derek wants to wake up.
So some of them, in this case, are a little. I would look at this and say, I have a problem with that. And I'm not going to dissuade you from that because some of those are a little earlier than I would anticipate. And I'm not quite sure why that happened because normally all the things that we do, it's not on a 24-hour clock for you guys. It's a 6 a.m. to midnight clock. So nothing should fly over midnight.
Just something I saw. So
no,
some savings there if the board didn't want to do that, or maybe some negotiation with some time frames that those were deployed. Because there's not many before or after the prime time of the evening milking.
The other thing that this invoice does not reflect, it doesn't reflect probably about $3,500 in extra that we do that isn't in here. And it's not because we didn't do it, it's because it doesn't reflect on the invoice the way we did our invoicing. Moving forward, we have changed the modality and the way we do things when it comes to giveaways, when it comes to promotional schedules, when it comes to those different things. Everything has to be scheduled on the clock. I'm gonna get in the weeds here because these are things that you don't need to know about, but it's the only way I can explain them. Is on a radio clock, we have a promotional clock, and then we have an advertising clock. The advertising clock literally is where advertising shows up, and that's what you saw on the log, and that's what shows up. The promotional clock is where you hear everything else. That's where you hear news and weather sponsorships. That's where you hear a live interview. That's where you hear some guy chattering about this, that, and the other thing, doing a giveaway. All that stuff happens on the promotional clock. We have now kind of merged those two a little bit in an effort to do for more transparency for our clients to say, hey, you said you were going to give us this type of promotion. These are the different things that happened. How many times did you say it was going to happen? Hey, look, it actually showed up. Everything is scheduled, everything is recorded, everything is there. I can also give you, I might be able to run it back. I don't know if it'll go back this far, but we also have a way of tracking what's called with Veritone. It actually goes back and we can see every single time something aired. We can look at it and compare it to what your invoice says, but then we can also show you where things weren't necessarily aired and paid for, but we talked about it, but then it shows up because it's actually logged. So for the $7,600 that, that was on there, you were probably getting close to $10,000 or $11,000 in advertising.
Is there,
Appreciate that.
yeah, is there a way, I mean, just say we go forward with it.
Sure.
There's two questions I have. One is, so we're gonna try to fix this
Yep.
time slot. How do we know, like, you're gonna tell us, or, I mean, how do
Yeah.
we? Okay. And then the second thing is that we have the iHeart stage there.
Mhm.
How, I mean, is that something you guys tell us to promote, or how does that?
That is for, I mean, that was a partnership that we developed, is to let people know that what's happening so that other people know what's happening on the stage, because it's one of those things that people, they come to the fair for different reasons. And, whether it's the auction, whether it's the animals, whether it's the carnival, whether it's the tractor pull, whether, it's the music, whatever. That is, because we're tied into music, because it's a radio station, that was a natural tie-in to be the sponsor of the stage. So that's how that evolved over the years. And you don't have to do anything with it if you don't want to, other than just, hey, here's a couple signs. It's the iHeartRadio music stage. Hey, thanks. And then we take it from there. Others? Please.
What if people don't listen to iHeartRadio and they listen to something else? Then
Well,
what?
well, that is a valid argument. Now, I'm not saying that I have the entire audience under my wing, because I absolutely do not. But it's just the way the budget has evolved over the years. Again, your budget, not mine. You can tell me to go fly a kite and go do something else. That's totally up to you. But again, I would like to think that our partnership over the years has stood the test of time for a reason, and I would like to demonstrate that to you for the board, because like I said, I've never been to one of these. This is fantastic. I love it. All I've really had to deal with was Deb, and she would tell me what to do and what not to do. I said, okay, sounds good. And then we'd go forward.
So I'm not very good at math, but some slick math. Basically, for the $7,000, we got to bring 1,400 more people, through the gate, say, for it to.
If
To
you,
pay-
if you directionally, if you wanted to use that math, yes.
And then like the email thing that you send out, if you do 2% on 40,000, that's, that's about a break even, deal on that. But that's,
As far
is there a way for you to kind of like have a guesstimate, like even if it's a little bit short, right?
Right.
But hey, do you think this many people do this? You got 800 people that the 2% that opened up the email or whatever, right? I can do that, but like through the radio and that, how many people do you think
Right.
get touched by it?
Well, I can actually do the math on actually people, the number of people actually, have it potentially heard, because we've got surveys and we've got math that does all that stuff. So I can give you that number on a, 2-3 week basis. Hey, this is how many commercials went out over this time, over this many radio stations, we're reaching X amount of people. So I can tell you directionally in a number that in this area, we have somewhere between about 100, on the low side, 155,000 to about 250,000 people that are listening in some way, shape, or form within a 13 county area of what we're doing. Now, are all of those are going to come to the Dunn County Fair? Nope. Absolutely not. We hope so. That would be fantastic. He's like, no, I don't want any more. The police had a cologne, I imagine. But directionally, I can't tell you exactly how much that it earns on the back end, because if you're only measuring ticket prices are obviously very, very low. But once they're here, it's not just about the ticket price. The ticket price is almost the loss leader. Once they're here, now they're spending on food, now they're spending on the carnival, now they're spending on maybe, different ticket races. That's where the rubber meets the road. Let me ask you this, and this is a question that I guess I never really asked Deb, and maybe I should have. What are the things that you want? I mean, I know you want more people, as many people as possible, but I mean, where's the revenue generator for the fair? I can't imagine it's ticket prices. Is it the beer? Is it the food? Where is it that you guys generate the most revenue?
Everything in the fair is pretty self-sufficient, other than the tractor pull when we hosted it.
Mhm.
And just to tie in on this answer for you here, don't take these hard questions personally.
Never.
The fair's lost money the last 3 years.
Got
So
it.
the fair board in the past 6 months here have been taking a fine tooth comb on everything we can do to not continue that path to, so Dunn County Fair can continue. So, but everything has been very self-sufficient, just in the whole fair in general. Beer sales have been down, attendance in the free stage has been down.
Mhm.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but, and then the grandstand income has been down. We
Got it.
pivoted a little with, bringing in a semi-nation-wide act,
Yep.
for Thursday night. And then, took a little bit of the burden of fronting the money for these different events and gave that to the racing so they can help take some of that on.
Got it. And to be fair, I never take anything personally. I've been in this 26 years. There's nothing personal about this. This is this is crossing T's and dotting I's and making sure everything makes sense. I get it.
And well, in the way it's kind of set up this year, like the food vendors for us, it's a flat rate, so there's no commission off of that.
Yeah.
So probably like be honest, probably the bigger things where we do make the money is gonna be off of ticket sales and beer.
Got it.
It's gonna kind of be, some maybe maybe there's something else, but those would probably be the two bigger things.
So it's general admission parking, and beer sales, which if I come with my 5 kids or whatever, well, okay, well, you got one drinker and that's it. But can't fix that. But they're going to be spending money on other things. So what I'm hearing and what I'm understanding is that what keeps you guys up at night is the fact that we're losing money. I don't know what extent, and that's okay. If you want to share that with me, offline, great. If you don't, that's okay too. But the other thing that you're really interested in is getting more ticket sales and being as self-sufficient as possible, so that taxpayers don't come and say, "Why the hell do we do this every single year?" Blah blah blah. You don't want the griping, and I totally get it. And if I can help you do that, and if we need to pivot dollars, if we need to do different things, we can do that, and we can have those conversations offline. We can have them here again in another board meeting should you want. I can bring back whatever data you want before the board, so you guys can look at it, digest it, ask questions, all the things. Yes, sir.
How many stations do you run?
So
Where?
locally we own 6.
Okay, so there's six stations
In our
by
area.
that Half Moon Lake there that are
Yes, sir.
broadcast out of there.
Yes.
So when you're giving us a price on something, do we spend more money on one particular station than the next?
You do, because the way the pricing works out is the pricing is based on total audience and what we're reaching. Some stations have more audience, some have less, but they're priced accordingly as well. So the stations that have more listeners, the obviously higher price. The stations that have lesser price. So it all evens out.
Close, but that ain't where I'm going.
Got it.
Are we good, other than your Moose Radio, right?
We're Moose. We're B95. We're
Okay.
Z100.
Say for our big expense and hoping to dig us out of the hole here a little bit
Yeah.
is entertainment, and probably led off by Chris Cousy.
Okay.
So why would we spend the same amount of money on a station that doesn't play Chris Cousy
Mhm.
on their rotation than one that does? I mean, Chris Cousy's country music,
Sure.
so I don't know what the other guys do.
No, it's totally fine.
When I was at Milk Cows, I used to listen to Z100 just because I turn it up loud and everything else.
The cows like to dance. It's fine. I
Yeah.
totally get it.
Yeah. And it came in, didn't it?
It came in. The cows liked it, and they gave more milk.
So,
It's fine.
but you see what I'm talking about there?
No, I totally
Should
get
we
it.
be spending, are we allowed to spend money where we think it will do us some good? Or do
Sure.
we just rely on you to do that?
No. Yeah. I mean, you can ask all the questions you want. I'm going to guide you and be that guide, hopefully. And, whether you choose to take that advice at the end of the day, that is up to you. It's, I look at it that I'm no different than kind of like a doctor, right? You come to me, you have a problem and you say, this is what we want to try and solve. And here are your options, A, B, C, D, and F. And you can take all of them or you can take some of them, you can take none of them. Totally up to you how you want to do it.
Right.
But what I would say to your question is, just know that the fair, even though entertainment and Chris Cruzy is a big draw, that's not the only reason people come to the fair.
Well, they come for racing.
And they come for
And
racing
those guys like everything.
and they like everything loud. And so that's why having a mix of different radio stations and having honestly a mix of tactics, not just radio, but doing some things on email, doing some things on social media, doing some things on some of the print stuff that you guys do, that all helps. It's not just one or the other, not pulling just one lever. You're pulling all of them in different varying degrees.
Okay, now the other question I have is, and it's obvious that labor is a big expense of just about any organization.
Sure.
So, me, I'm a knucklehead. I'll if I know that Willing Workers 4-H Club is going to be on 104.5 on Saturday morning or whatever it is, I'll change channels because I want to go listen to Willing Workers 4-H Club on wax.
Sure.
So instead of everything being what you've given us here is, drawing people in, do any organizations, I think WRDN does a lot of filming and interviews at the fair. Would it be any way for us to interview the person or have a representative to interview the person that has the grand champion steer or swine or sheep or
It's a possibility. I'm not going to say no to it.
yeah,
I mean,
but it would have to be expensive.
it doesn't necessarily have to be expensive. You're trying to equate two different things, and I get it.
No,
But just because someone comes out there and does it doesn't necessarily mean it's expensive. It just means it's just a part of the plan. And how we massage that plan and how we massage those dollars and what those dollars go toward is how we make it work. And you guys tell me what that budget is, and then I will shoehorn it into whatever we can, and I will absolutely tell you if this doesn't work, then it don't work. And I'm going to advise you against it or advise you to do a different place.
I'm just afraid you're going to tell us that your biggest your biggest bang for the buck is going to be just having little 10-second or 20, I don't
30.
know, 30-second blurbs about, hey, come down, see Chris Cruzy, or hey, make sure you get a chance to stop by the such and such at the Dunn County Fair, which starts on such and such and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know. I certainly can't relate to other than my wheelhouse. I'll tell you that.
It's totally fine.
Yeah.
I got a question here.
Shoot.
Okay, July 14th is when you guys started advertising for us,
Mm.
according to that.
Yes.
That was up there. So obviously before that, we're talking about more money going forward, or is that, I mean, that's just.
It's not necessarily more money as much as how much frequency we have in a set period of time. And I guess I'm relying on my experience when it comes to one-time single seasonal events that I would love to say people plan 6 months in advance to come to the Dunn County Fair, but they don't. It is 3 weeks tops.
That's what my question was, as your experience, how many, I'm just asking if we're too far or too.
Yeah, well, and to be fair, like I said, some of the actual like paid advertising and some of that stuff starts, on the 14th. We start giving away tickets about the week before. So we usually try and it's a juggling act for us. I mean, I'm not going to say it's not because I mean, we've got the Northern Wisconsin State Fair. There's also Rock Fest. There's also Country Fest. There's also all these different things that are vying for our attention as well, as far as giveaways. And we try and give you guys as much separation from those as possible. So we're not giving something away with the Northern Wisconsin State Fair and then the Duncan Fair is doing the same thing in the next giveaway. We try and have some type of separation with that so that we can promote each event in its glory as best we can without necessarily overlapping too much. So that's part of also that dance,
Yep.
you know, so to speak, of when we start and when we don't. But traditionally, I mean, I've worked with Pablo Center. I've worked with what's the one down here in Menominee? Thank you, Mabel Tanner. Those are the words. And whenever they have events, big or small, I mean, I would love to tell you that people plan, you know, and they sell out as soon as tickets go on sale, you know, now, and they just don't. You'll get 100, 200 tickets that'll come out right away, and like, oh my gosh, that's great, and then literally it'll sit at that level for 4 months, and it won't move, no matter how much you pull, no matter how much you scream, it just sits there, because the people who want to buy, they bought early and they're done. And the people who haven't, well, I don't know what I'm going to do yet, so I'm just going to wait. And then it's like, oh, hey, that's next week. Oh, hey, we should do that. Oh, hey, and that's what influences where I put things and why we've generated where it's been and how it's been.
So you understand, we're asking, like you said before, just for your input on what's going on. We're trying to figure out the best move for us, going forward. But you said earlier that there's things that we can do. I'm not saying we need to cheapen it up, but for these guys here, there is things we can do to maybe shave a couple bucks off, so to speak. I guess I'm still maybe stuck on a little bit with the stage part.
Sure.
So you're giving us the banner to place in front of the stage is what you're doing? And then you announce that to come.
And then we're announcing it and we're talking about it and we're encouraging people to come and buy tickets.
That's what.
That's the value proposition that we're
Yeah.
giving
Yeah.
on the back end.
Okay,
Yes.
that's
So,
what I was.
yep.
Okay.
Yep. And then part of that is sometimes it's giving away tickets. Sometimes it's just, hey, this is what's
Right.
happening on the stage. Hey, this is who's coming out. Chris Cruzy, whomever it may be.
Yep.
You should come get your tickets now. They're going to sell out. It's going to be on the grand stage Thursday night, Wednesday night, Friday night, whatever it is. That's the value prop for that type of partnership. Yes.
Okay, Scott, we got,
One quick question. So, if, this isn't all on advertising, but if our goal is to increase, attendance by 10%.
Yeah.
Is what we're doing for advertising the best bang for the buck? Should we be spending more? If our goal is to increase, it's not all on you, we
Nope,
have
I
to do
totally
a
get it.
better job here, but from advertising with you would, if that's our goal to increase by 10%, would you say you should spend more, do this or do that, or is what we're doing the best we could do?
I think based on, I mean, and again, this is hearsay because I don't know all of your budget. I don't know exactly all of the different things where you spend your dollars. But from what I can tell, what Deb has shown me, and allowed me to see, and what I think I know you guys do on the backside, I think you're doing a really good job of what you're doing because I mean you're the Dunn County Fair, and I hate to say it, but you're come on the heels of the Northern Wisconsin State Fair, and that's hard. Because I mean, they're big, you're not, but yet everybody comes here because it's Dunn County, because this is the seat. This is the county seat, and this is where people come, and this is their fair. They don't want to go up to Chippewa; they want to come here, and that has value. And if there are things I could recommend, grassroots, post more on your Facebook. And when I say post more, I don't mean once a week. I mean like 3 times a day. And people would look at me and say, that sounds like too much. Well, people are going to get sick of us. They absolutely won't, because Facebook has this stupid algorithm that works that not the same people don't see your post every single time. It is okay to post 8 times a day. I guarantee you people won't get sick of it because not everybody's going to see it all the time. It's just the way the algorithm and the way that the advertising works now. It's just different. If you have someone who's really good with a camera, who's really good and wants to do videos and whatnot and dance around on TikTok, do it. Not kidding. It is not me. I'm not that guy. um, um, But here's the thing is that things of like that nature where like, I mean, this is gonna sound really, you know, this is gonna sound kind of funny and weird, but if you get four old guys dancing to a TikTok video to, to something at the fair, then you post it out there, whether it's on Facebook or TikTok, it's gonna get laughs, it's gonna get views, and people are gonna pay attention. And that's really the long and the short about any type of advertising. I don't care if it's the fair, I don't care if it's for business, I don't care if it's employment. The whole job is to catch people's attention, grab it, hold it, and then hopefully make them do something because of it. I mean, that's its entire purpose. I tell people all the time, I've been advertising for 26 years, advertising doesn't work. I'm a media vehicle. I get your message from point A to point B. That's it. If what's inside that message is compelling enough to that person at that time, when they hear it, when they see it, and they go, yeah, it will always come back to point A again. So part of it's the medium, part of it's the message, part of it's the delivery. And if I had a magic pill and a magic, wand that could do that, I wouldn't be standing here in front of you because I would be a billionaire. Because no one has found out what that magic pill is. They think they have, but it's all a give and take.
Is there, so we're gonna talk about this later in our meeting, but is there, say, we got you coming back or whatever. So you said that before there was a time that you would come back and speak to us again, that we can kind of
Anytime you want.
down and go through stuff. Just think would make everybody feel a little bit more comfortable. That's what I'm getting at.
I will come back as many times as you guys want me.
So we appreciate your time.
Yeah,
Thank
and,
you.
and honestly, the reason, like I said, the reason why, some of the cost is a little more probably elevated this year than it has been in years past is just because we had a minimum change. Before we could do it for like $2,500 to $3,000, and then they moved it and they said, well, now your minimum is $4,000. And not my rule. So there are ways to do other things with that money. I'm just not saying, I'm not saying that's the only thing we can put our money into, but there are ways. Like I said, I'm not the only game in town. I know it. But at the same time, I'm gonna guide you. I'm gonna give you the best foot forward, and you guys get to decide where you're gonna spend the money. And hopefully, you guys will spend it with me. And if not, well, give it my best shot.
Appreciate it. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Well-
What's your next meeting?
Austin. Is the county okay with the fair board having a TikTok?
Even if it's in the.
Does it have to, does the county have to approve that if the fair board starts its own TikTok? Is that the right way to say it?
I don't think there's an issue.
Okay.
It's one less thing Krista has to do. But or multiple people can be logged into it as well. Like, cause sometimes Krista does those, shorts, quick videos
Yep.
of stuff, and multiple people could be logged into it too.
Cause is Krista doing our Instagram too?
Thank you, everyone.
I think so,
Okay.
but
All right.
yeah, or throw some reels together, et cetera, yeah. I can look into it.
All right. We're gonna get to the commercial building updates, with the superintendent, Amy. I have an email, but I was gonna just kind of touch on some, feedback that she had for us as a board that we kind of maybe need to look into trying a little bit better. It's a long email, so like I said, we're just gonna touch on a few things. She just wanted to know, let us know what went well and things that we could improve on. good things is that the displays, she heard a lot of compliments. So, and the grouping with the youth, the food, the clothes, et cetera, together it made her easier to utilize the display space. A few exceptions seemed to flow pretty easy other than that. What could be improved, the open and the youth was a lot or too much. I was gonna talk to Zach about this a little bit. Maybe I'm not 100%, maybe what she's talking about here, but the open and the youth was a lot for all but one of our superintendents to take on. Ideally, she'd like the youth superintendents just to do youth and, probably another 4 to 8 volunteers to a class. Is what I don't know how to make that happen, but is, what's your thoughts on that?
Is she saying that last year, or during 2 years ago now, I don't remember, they combined the two of the
Yep.
superintendents and she wants to go back to
Oh, that makes more sense. Okay.
separate? Because
Yeah.
last year they did, they judged it separate, but they went, right from one to the next right away
Yep.
instead of like waiting until, waiting until 3 o'clock or whatever. They said, youth is going to be judged whenever open class is done.
Okay.
Is that what she's getting at? I'm not
Yeah,
quite sure
yeah,
either.
reading through, yeah. So we gotta figure out a way to kind of help out and.
More
and,
volunteers.
Yeah, more volunteers. It's a hard thing, but, um, yeah, I'm gonna get down to here because the rest of it we can kind of go through us here. But, as a board, she'd like to see a little bit more of the video training for the fair entry. I think that's with everybody. I think maybe we need to sit down, a lot of people, to go through the superintendents, so we can get them trained on how to put stuff in the fair entry. Um, uh, see here, yeah,
Can somebody make a video so that they can watch it?
Used to have it.
We might have one on the 4-H website. I can look and see. I think we have one.
We used to do a superintendent training like the week before, didn't we? Derek?
yeah, but if he has a video, that would be awesome.
Yeah, if you
Well,
already.
That would be for the youth entering. If she talked about like for the youth to enter the entries there, is she talking about the superintendents and judges getting that information or the,
I think she's
Actual-
talking about, the superintendents had some issues entering
Entering,
the judging,
yeah,
once they judged the
Okay.
results into fair entry.
yeah,
that would-
yeah,
that would
yeah.
be different than what we have.
Oh,
Because we have a video for the kids, so the parents are signing the kids up, but not for the judges.
okay. So it's something that we can get out there. See here. Read, she'd love to have more printouts of registered projects by the department when we set up. Who typically does that? Is that on them guys, or we normally have that tag board and, you go put up like quilts, and I think it's probably her that normally does that, isn't it?
Just a listing
Yeah,
of the exhibits.
yeah,
That should be up there.
So is
Yeah, that
that all
should be in there.
entered electronically?
Yep.
because she wants to see
Yeah.
the signage that's displayed so that people know what they are required to check in and place their projects by their department.
I think what she's saying is she wants, so there's all, the horticulture or whatever, there's all the departments, but she wants a list by each department of what's supposed to be in that department, so that way when you bring it there, you can check it off.
Okay,
And that way sometimes, some things you forget where it's supposed to go, so you're not just putting it someplace. So that way, okay, this is where it's actually supposed to go. I think that's a problem when they're judging, all of a sudden there'll be random items that just are, ooh, this was in the wrong spot. Now they're trying to find the judge to get it judged.
in here too, that she has just said that, or do you have a comment about that? No, on there, she had said that, too, that, trying to get stuff checked in and going right to judging. I think that we should have looked into that a couple of years ago. I mean, we gotta figure out a way of having those kids to come there so it's not so chaotic, then we jump right into judging when that time should be backed way up, or even the night early or something. It's something we should look into for our next meeting. I mean, I don't, I mean, talking to her, maybe it's just talking to her, hey, would you be interested in doing it even on I'm not saying a Sunday night, but then parents aren't trying to get home from work. You know, we can have them come in there, they're already set up, ready to go, rather than trying to make it so hard on her to do everything that day. Cause in here, she's trying to move tables around and such, and it just it gets to be a lot. So it's something I think that we maybe should look into the scheduling and ask her if she's all right with that. And the only other thing, I think, we probably get caught up there again with the judging happening when it is, and we're trying to move stuff around ourselves with, she just, she wasn't complaining, she just asking. She knows that we're busy, but wondering if we, you know, not, we're all doing this side of the road, not that, so we're not paying attention because she does so much, is putting away with the tables and distributing benches. I know she ended up doing 95% of that last year when she was done with the commercial building. And she ended up coming in Wednesday morning and finished taking down tables. So, I mean, can't ask her to do that. So I think that I really would like her to come in. I really would. If you can make that happen, I know, it,
I
but
know she's horribly busy right now with a bunch of other things that were, I'm just glad I got an email from her.
yeah,
So, but I would think at some point between now and June,
because she wants volunteers and it'd be a lot easier if we can get something done sooner than later with these volunteers to ask her what she really needs. I mean, I got the email. I understand she needs more volunteers, but hey, like, what are we looking for? What age group? What are they're, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah, right. And we don't wanna, yeah, we don't wanna sit here and do this. Yep. And that's why I was saying, if she comes in, we can talk about this and go through it. Yep, I agree.
Well, that could be utilized too with talking to different groups through the school district, because a lot of those kids need
Yes.
volunteer hours. For college applications and so forth, and that's an opportunity for them to.
We gotta
you
get
know,
that in there early.
Exactly.
Yeah, we gotta get it
exactly.
in there.
We need to know what the ask is,
Yep.
get them signed up early, and that fills a gap and takes care of an issue that we have.
Yep.
I'll see if there's any chance she can be here for the April meeting.
Okay. Yeah, that would be great. All right, we're gonna go to, items placed on the request of the chair. These are considered actions to be taken by Dunn County Fair. All right, we're gonna start with the Knights of Columbus where I had tabled before and now we're here. So we're gonna discuss, the last time they were here, they requested, $4,000, which is up from $3,500. They haven't asked for a raise in what did he say, 12 years, I think is what he said. So or more, asking for another $500. There had been a request, or discussion in that discussion. I'm not gonna name names because I don't remember, but I know somebody had asked for $4,500, to be given to them. They're asking for $4,000. You guys, discussion.
Is what you're saying.
Yeah, if you gotta make motion if you want it to. Our discussion.
We can't do it without them,
I agree.
and they've done well for us for as long as they've been there.
We have the same number of people needed with electronics. You know, for using.
Probably, people at a gate, regardless.
Okay.
The
It's
biggest,
just that they'll
They
be.
gotta have Wi-Fi connection, you know, if we're going
And that-
wireless
The
everywhere.
first year going electronic, it might actually be worse.
Yeah.
If they're being honest.
Especially if they're not, you know, accustomed to
A lot of them-
digital tech.
A lot of them are your age, Larry.
My question would be.
Yeah.
Would the,
How about you just give me cash and I'll tell everybody it's okay.
My question is that would we be better off giving them 4,500 and having another booth where people like sneaking down over the hill?
I think that's a great idea.
We had talked about that last meeting.
You know, we've talked about it 100 times. They want $500 and it's like, well, here, we're gonna give you 1,000, but
we would like you to
Staff one more.
staff one more spot over
I don't
there.
think it needs to be full-time.
No, that's brushed and we planted poison ivy in there for them. Yeah,
I'll make a motion, we give $4,500
and then that spot.
and at that spot.
Is there, well, second to that
I will second it.
discussion? No discussion? Okay, well, go to a vote. Everybody in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Aye, okay, fast, 4,500 goes
And
to,
plus the news.
and plus we ask them for that spot. Okay,
We set up gates or something up there and
We'll have to come up with something.
Come up with something.
yeah,
We
we,
gotta come up with the funnel. They gotta stand in the way.
well, okay. Anyway, a little bit more discussion on the Knights of Columbus here. I can do that, right? If we pass one, we gotta talk about the exhibitor pass stuff. So last time they were here, they wanted a pass for exhibitor pass or for vehicle is their question. They wanted to know, it maybe sounds silly, but they wanted to know, one guy comes in with the wristband is what they said, and then they let the whole vehicle go because they're exhibitors. I suggested that, well, if you don't have a wristband, you pay the cash and go up there to the office and get a wristband if they keep falling off. Okay, well, we need to make a decision how we're gonna help these guys out. They want an action on it and he keeps asking me how we're gonna do it. So,
The answer to that question is another question. Are we going digital or aren't we?
well,
And
if he has a, yeah, isn't he supposed to
So
still, our
exhibitors-
exhibitors still have a wristband?
in my
regardless.
opinion, in order to do it simplistically, if we are doing even partially electronic, then the exhibitors would be able to then have whatever that electronic is on their person. Takes that out of the equation, and each individual as an exhibitor would be able to present that.
I'm lost.
So if I'm an exhibitor,
Yep.
I got a link. I have the electronic thing on my phone saying,
Oh, yeah.
I have my exhibitor pass.
Like his deer license.
It's non-transferable. It's on my phone.
Okay.
I have this anytime I go in and out of the gate.
The other 4 people in there have to have the same thing.
It's not a carload exhibitor pass. It's.
I
an
get
individual.
that. That's what they're asking is how we're.
Yeah,
I would assume even if we're going digital, that we're better off having the armbands, because otherwise, armband you can just hold up and you can see it. Otherwise, they're gonna have to come up to the vehicle and look at each and every one versus you got 4 people and.
Right now, we require them to wear a wristband. Everybody is what we require.
I'd say that they need to have a wristband on or you got your weekly pass.
one of the two. That way, if it fell off or they're taking a shower the night before coming back in, they've got this to back it up. They have to come to the fair office and get
Like
another
if it
band.
falls off, they can bring the band in. again.
Exactly.
So it's a.
I think you charge them is what the simplicity part is. They want to know, hey, they say they're exhibitors, we know it, but they don't have their bands. The simple thing to do rather than to tell what they're looking for, simple thing to do rather than I know Scott because he comes in and he's a showman. Well, but the other people in there, yeah, maybe or maybe not. But I'm still gonna make you pay because,
No wristband, no entry.
yeah, I'm done with it, right?
That's a lot simpler, yeah.
Okay. That's what we'll tell them.
Wristband.
Oh, I need it.
And
Oh, yeah.
Speaking maybe possibly from experience, I didn't pay to get into the fair a single day last year. And I got in going like this every single day,
Mhm.
How many days were you there?
every single one.
So times 5?
Somebody you know.
Someone I know,
that down.
similar truck to the one I was driving, may or may not have gotten in with no wristband. Every single
And that's what they're trying to.
Scott, what are you teaching her?
Yeah. But the thing is, but the thing is that we have the wristband, right? How you may or may not get it, we got it. The other people that are in the vehicle or behind you are now paying regardless, unless you have it. Yeah.
it'll actually make them pay closer attention because I'll
Yeah.
look at everybody. And so if you go like this, they're gonna sit there and go, okay, what about the other 3? Oh, wait,
Yeah.
you don't have one either, maybe, you know.
Right. Okay.
It's not gonna be perfect, but it'll be better.
And doing what we're doing this year now,
Yeah.
right? With Thursday night and everything else that's going on, that's gonna force the look to make sure we're capturing every individual coming through the gate.
And the thing with this here, then we can get started on ordering the wristbands if this is what we choose to do. So we can get at it a little earlier. So in favor of all the wristbands, I mean, make a motion.
So what is the wristbands for? Just the exhibitor or for everybody?
For the exhibitors, this is the exhibitors is what he's saying, the path for exhibitors.
Exhibitors, all exhibitors must wear a wristband.
That's what he's asking.
And
yes.
everybody else has to.
Right.
We'll figure that out later, but exhibitors, all right, so I'll make the motion that all exhibitors must have a wristband on their wrist to gain entry without paying into the fairgrounds.
I say no. Yes, though.
No, you gotta
It's
have it on
on.
your wrist.
I agree.
Oh,
No.
That's your problem. Nope.
Okay, that's the
No.
motions on that. We haven't got to discussion. Is there a second? Okay, Scott, now discussion. Go ahead.
Okay, so my thing is if kid goes home, takes a shower and it falls off his arm.
Then it wasn't put on properly.
No,
Why don't you just get like the plasticky ones so they don't like
Right.
disintegrate?
Yeah, it's not the paper ones.
Yeah, well, we have the paper ones now.
So
We're
then
gonna
what you
have
do,
plastic.
so if it comes off, take it with you, you walk up to the fair
You
office,
can't because it's got to be on your wrist. That's motion.
so then you pay the $5 to get in. You walk up to the fair offices, you say, I just paid $5 to get in, here's my band. Someone in the fair office can say, okay, what's your name? They can look, make sure you're exhibitor and say, okay, here's your $5 back.
I agree, but not that person in the fair office.
I was gonna say, you can do it.
I don't care. That's
Someone's gonna
the
have to be in
rules are the
fair
rules.
office. It's-
But anyway, that discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah, the wristband needs to be on.
I
Yeah,
know
yeah.
people that kept the parking
Yeah.
passes for multiple years
Yeah.
because they would change colors and then they would just go back to that
Yeah.
parking pass.
Yeah, I agree with the wristband on. Yeah, go ahead.
But to Scott's point, right?
Yeah.
I don't disagree with refunding the $5 they paid at the gate.
Oh, yeah,
i-
yeah.
If they have it and you can confirm. that
That's
they are
always,
exhibitors.
sorry, I should have said
Yeah.
that. That's always been
Yeah, then you
what we
just go
do.
up there, we refund your money.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Right.
Here's it.
The same day though.
Then
For
that's
the
on them.
refund.
That's good, yeah.
They're gonna
What
have,
if they come back multiple?
but they'll be able to come to the fair office.
Without
get-
the, yeah.
Otherwise, they're paying, right?
Right.
And if they want their $5, they gotta show up that day.
Yeah, if
Just
it
to
happens
get
more
one
than
every
once.
day, that's fine.
We'll duct tape that baby on there.
Really? Put it back on.
Well, since you honestly told us that you were free,
Someone I know.
and,
Yeah.
should we, require some back pay for all that?
No, that was just someone I know.
Well, then, my problem was is if I didn't have my fair board pass, I had to almost argue with the guy saying that I work here, And then later on, they'll say, well, we're just kidding with you and stuff, but
That's why you got the pass.
that's why I got the pass.
Driving a truck, you know better than to mess.
All right, so
Right.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. All right. Racetrack, Troy. Talk about your conversation. Well, I guess mine too, but you. can
Yeah,
talk.
so I had another conversation with John, just what he's gonna do or what their plan is on the racetrack, kind of talked to him a little bit. Wanted to see what his plan was, like, kind of trying to negotiate a little bit. Hey, what are you guys doing? What kind of thoughts if we did turn the beer over to you or whatever? Still told him not a guarantee. And they actually put quite a bit of thought into it. They got their plan is right now, they want to bring in a big race on Friday night. And then, what they want, they want to move the demo from Sunday to Saturday night because they said that is the group of people that will come in and drink a lot of beer on a Saturday, more than they will on a Sunday. Maybe not that much more, but a little bit more. And then they are talking about for on Sunday of talking to the Red Cedar tractor pullers and having the Red Cedar tractor pullers come in on Sunday and do that. So they're kind of trying to fit the crowd at the right time, the tractor pullers and that. They said it either tractor pullers or like an enduro race. And they said that they 100% want our input. If they say, if we told them that, hey, we want them to go to the Red Cedar tractor pullers and go that direction, he wants us to tell them, you know, that, or if we want to do the enduro race or whatever. So that's kind of the move. I think Saturday night grandstands, we'd probably get a few more cars. I know Sunday, you know, all the kids want to go see the demo derby, you know, too. We're usually tearing, not all of them, but some of them like to go see it, and, you know, but we're tearing down with the animals and stuff. So I think that grandstands on Saturday night would probably be pretty dang full with a demo. So it was kind of like their thought process behind it. They've,
Still what, doing the split profits?
yeah, they'd split profits on the beer the same as what they are right now. And then he was actually talking about too, about him and I, about getting another ice machine and stuff too for, you know, underneath.
And we had talked to, to go off of that, we had talked to Joe about using that trailer so they can store ice in there. Prior to the week with Jeff, we had talked about that, and it sounds like that's okay.
Oh, that, yeah, freezer trailer.
Yep, freezer trailer.
So yeah, so seems like the raceway's excited. Obviously, they want the sales. They got the people there, and you know, like the purse for race. You know, they'd want to up the purse for like Friday night, so that way they can get a bigger crowd and kind of match more of just a big show.
Nick?
So,
Would there be any reason why we wouldn't do that? I mean, it seems to.
Well,
Just ask.
Saturday night race.
they and he said that they could do a Saturday night race. And again, it was a little bit open to what we wanted, but they're trying to figure. They thought, you know, that there was a little bit of passion like for a tractor pull yet, right? So if you brought in the Red Cedar tractor pullers, he said if we had other ideas, you know, to talk to them, you know.
I think them taking initiative to put something out there, I think in their time frame is good on their end. I mean, they're definitely trying, rather than doing what, you know, and willing to give us half the profits. I mean,
From
and
the
we're,
beer.
of beer, sorry, yes.
Will they do any advertising? Do they normally advertise?
And that's what we want to talk about. Yeah, they do, but, they'll advertise on there, but, I'd like to, once we get down to there, I'd like to talk to them guys about advertising some of it with us, with the iHeartRadio, if we choose that, but, yeah.
And so, John, I guess to your question about a big race on Saturday night, they were just talking about moving stuff,
Around.
you know, around or whatever. And he said it was, I think he still said that they were in contact with people, but like
Yeah.
I was almost, Johnny, I'm putting you on the spot right now. What do we have? You know, right, he doesn't have the other race, but that's where,
But it would have been easier if you wouldn't have had it where they already have them a whole year. I mean, that's my point too. Like, we're trying to get stuff set up and I get it, trying to get these guys, we have to get guys, we can't get normally one on a Saturday, we're getting them on a Thursday, for example, of Chris. I mean, we didn't give them that full, hey, if we give them, hey, we got this year and next, you know.
yeah, and if we
that's what
say,
I'm saying.
if we say, hey, this is what we're gonna do, now this is expectation, right? And I don't know, I remember demos being at night that place was, it was packed. You know, so you might get just as many people from a demo derby than a race 2 nights in a row, so.
It's all about getting more people through the gate during fair time.
I've announced Sturgeon Fest, a few years. My dad announced it for 25 and nothing. I mean, there's 2,500 people there on Friday night. So I really think it can be knocked out of the park versus, you know, I talked to Johnny too a few weeks ago and, you know, him seeing the grandstands, you know, emptying out and the rides getting packed up on Sunday afternoon while the demo's still going on. So I think this would be huge. The biggest thing with the races is you can't compete with these other races that are within 60 miles or so on Saturday night, which is Rice Lake and Cedar Lake Speedway, both
Pay out a lot more.
huge. But the Dave Shackleton Memorial is the one scheduled for that Friday night. So a huge super stock show coming through that Friday night. So I think this would be huge
Yeah, and that's what
with
he's saying.
zero risk.
Yeah.
Right, and that's what he's saying too, if we can up the purse, you know, now all of a sudden you can draw some people from farther away because then now they can come in, hey, the person's bigger here, and then we can go to Rice Lake on, you know, or wherever on Saturday night
Yeah,
there.
they're camping with us, drinking
Yes.
beer we make money off of and heading out the next day. I make a motion to run with it. Let the racetrack have it and, yeah, make it a
Have to
motion.
have what?
What's that?
It's a.
To sell the beer and split the cost with us.
At
50%?
Split the price.
Friday night.
Yeah, right.
No.
No, the whole week.
Whatever they're doing up there.
Yeah, they're. Motion's out. Second.
I'll second it.
Okay, discussion.
I don't see a reason to take away from Fish and Game. I mean, racing, and for this year, racing is ecstatic that we're not having a tractor pull on Saturday. Whatever they do, because they're gonna gain all that money on Saturday night. They are ecstatic at that. We're giving them Saturday, which is much bigger than a Thursday. And Fish and Game hasn't done anything wrong. I mean, most of us didn't even know Fish and Game was under there. We all thought it was a Lions Club, so if you have somebody that's doing a job for you and you don't even know they're there, that's how, there was never.
Well, we are paying them. We are paying, and then we wouldn't have to necessarily pay the racetrack.
Well, we're gonna
because
split
we're already-
50-50.
Right, so we're getting the sales, if I'm not correct, am I wrong, that we weren't getting the sales before?
Yeah, but-
No, we were gonna.
Well, yeah, it's gonna be the same
Yeah,
cost.
so
We're gonna get the same amount of money
Same amount
either
of money.
way.
Oh, okay.
And I guess the only thing,
So,
and I don't wanna take money away from the Fish and Game, okay?
but you are.
Not necessarily, because there's more things to do at the fair than sell beer underneath the grandstands. But my thing is that you have a good relationship with the raceway and we can work together. And I agree with you, we had no idea they were there, so what did they do for us besides sell beer? They sold beer, that was it.
Same thing the Lions Club does.
But they did it so well that they didn't have any issues that we
Right.
would have to.
But
go
at the same time, if we can have conversation with the raceway and have things set up where we're all on the same page and sit there and go, hey, you can do this race, you know, because now if they don't increase the purse, are we gonna get less cars there, right? You know,
At the end of the day, they're still gonna work with us because they wanna have race during the fair.
My
Cause
thing
we
is-
could say there's gonna be no racing on the fair, and we're gonna do bands, we're gonna do other things during the fair, and there's gonna be nothing going on with the racing. So during the fair, they want to appease us. We don't need to appease them.
Have they collected the gate and everything for like the tractor pull and everything during the fair? Have they charged us for the equipment used for track prep and
for
They-
track prep and
they
stuff
do that?
We have in the past.
I'm just asking because I don't know.
And I look at, you know, since I've been on the fair board, there's been times when we've never had a complaint with Fish and Game under their selling beer, but there's been times when we complained, why are they shutting down the races tonight? It didn't rain that much, so we've had we've had internal conversations when we've had issues with racing. So I don't feel we should say, here's Saturday, and now you get the beer sales on top of that. And now we're gonna take it away from Fish and Game when they've done.
But they're selling beer inside the pits, right? Is that right too? I'm asking the question, right?
Yeah, the raceway would sell beer inside the pit.
Did the Fish and Game gain any revenue on days where they did have to cancel the races? Like,
No, because there was no
right,
beer sales,
right, no beer sales.
you know, and I look
I
at
just,
it,
I don't want to take money away from the Fish and Game either. It's a great organization.
right, and they've already, they've been doing it for
What-
5 years.
Yeah,
And they budgeted into their
right, so my thing,
revenue.
It does make sense to me to partner more with the racetrack because they complement what we're trying to accomplish. More so than doing what we can as a fair board to distribute dollars to other organizations. So I don't know that it helps us any more to stay with the Fish and Game or if it helps us more to partner with the racetrack. That's my train of thought.
I guess I don't see us giving them the beer sales as they're going to do more for us now that they get this too. Because they want to have as many cars racing, they want to have as many people there so that they can make money. on those nights.
But we want. the
They're not
same
gonna be like,
thing.
oh, you didn't give us a beer sales. We're not gonna put races.
But
on
what
this.
they're saying with
But
that,
to my point is the racetrack is bringing revenue to our fair. The fishing game isn't.
Right, but I look at it as, the way I look at it is I say, well, the fair is great for the area, the community. We're helping the Lions Club. They're making
Yep.
some money. Fish and Game makes some money.
who says that we
Racing.
can't put sufficient game in
Yeah.
another,
And that's what I was gonna say is that,
We have to pay them to do other things and they won't bring us money.
But
but it's the same thing as what we're doing right now.
yeah,
No, but not.
well, we're,
We don't give them anything, they just give us stuff.
They get half of the beer sales.
Well, right, but they did all the work for it.
So is the raceway's going to too.
thing.
So
Same
then I
thing.
guess if so then why couldn't we go to racing and say, if you want to make $4,000 on the beer sales, here's something else that you could do.
Right, go chop down trees or something. Like,
Or aren't they putting more into the pot?
Yeah, they're putting more of the money into the pot to get more cars there. Instead of it being $1,000 to win the late model thing, it could be 1,500 or 2,000
To bring in more
to
people.
bring more cars than, from farther away.
I'm against it. Personally, I think Fish and Game has done a good job up there. I support Fish and Game. I like what they do for our area. And for us to take it away from them, I don't feel that that's right.
Is
And-
it,
And I agree that the Fish and Game is a good organization, but my thing is I feel like if we tie ourselves with the raceway and that there's ways that the Fish and Game can help us out, and if they make $2,500 a year, whatever that dollar amount is, let's give them the 2,500. It's kind of a trial in a way, but give them $2,500 and I'm sure there's something at the fairgrounds we could have them do.
Well, who runs the beer garden in the park? Who runs the beer garden in the park?
That's the Lions Club.
The Lions Club, okay. And then they were the ones out in the racetrack.
Yep.
How about, during the beef show? Lions Club?
Lions Club's up by the
So
free
they're-
stage all the time.
Okay.
And
Does,
And I don't, again, I don't know what's right. My thought process was that I don't wanna take the money away from the fishing game. Is there something else that we can have them do?
Is there gonna be any heartburn with the racetrack from the discussions that have been had? If we say with the fishing game maintaining beer sales up there?
I told Johnny
But
that
is there-
there's no guarantees on anything.
I know we told them there's no guarantees, but is it going to upset the racetrack, Red Cedar Speedway, if they can't have the beer sales? To allow the fishing game to continue to do what they're
they
doing
were
there?
saying is that they would like it so they could up their ante. That's what we're going with. That's what they said.
So with the additional dollars that they're gaining from being able to sell their own beer like they do every Friday night,
Yeah.
they're putting more money into the purse to make it more appealing to bring more people into the venue.
That's what they want. That's what their pitch is.
I got a question.
Larry,
Just help me clear. We've got, are we selling beer with koozie?
yes,
Who sells that beer?
Lions Club, or it could be the racetrack. We don't know yet.
We don't
Okay,
know where they're gonna be.
When we get to that point where we want it, we don't know.
Okay, and then Friday night is, what now for sure? Races?
Race.
So Friday night is races, Friday night races, and Friday night beer. Saturday night is demolition derby
That's put on by the raceway.
put on by the Raceway. So Raceway's got 2 days of they've got they've got 2 nights of beer sales right there and 2 nights of activity.
But then Sunday, tractor pull, if that's the way we want it, that would be raceway also. And they gotta pay to have a sled brought in.
Well, I
Correct.
think, I can't support 3 nights of beer sales at Raceway at the expense of Fish and Game. When Fish and Game guy was here, we really fast to lose track that this is somewhat of a youth fair, except, when it comes to getting a blue ribbon or two and a check. But you gotta remember what the Fish and Game guy said, that their chapter got an award from the state for being, most proactive in youth activities. So if, they have depended on or have spent the money that they've made at the fair in the past, and they have taken that money and they have invested it in somewhat in kids, youth, hunter safety, all that. I feel a little uncomfortable in taking their money away. And
Again, I'll go back. I'm not saying I want to take their money away. There's other things to do at the fair, Larry, than sell
well,
beer.
no, well,
If they made $2,500 a year, I still want to give the fish game $2,500 a year, but I have a hard time believing that the raceway, if they can't sell beer during the tractor pull, why would they pay to have a sled come in? They're creating no extra revenue,
fine.
right? They're not, right, so then we don't have anything on Sunday.
Are you saying we have to, we
I
have
don't know,
to?
like, you could have the enduro race or whatever, but it's one of those things that,
How is the tractor pull connected with the raceway?
Raceway is doing everything.
because the raceways,
We don't go out there, we don't do anything. They're doing everything for us. We don't, like last year, we had tied up Nick and Scott and Jeff. Like, we don't have to do any of that anymore.
I get it. Okay.
It's done.
and like them.
And we don't have
They gotta get us
Are these
to come in.
all evening events, right?
What's that?
Yeah.
These
Well,
are,
Sunday would be a day event with the tractor pull.
so there's no Saturday afternoon event?
Saturday night would be, yes, a demo
So
derby.
there's no afternoon derby? No.
No, because it would, interfere with the auction.
So what's the job we're gonna offer Fish and Game for $2,500?
They're, like, we,
I'm asking because that's what he
I
said.
like the idea, even if you give, there's options, right? But like, if you give oh my gosh, Knights of Columbus at the gates down there, who says that we don't have two other spots that the Knights of Columbus just told us about that we're missing out big time on money? We're missing out on the hill and we're missing out by Jeff Eckerd's, that corner over there.
Right.
And they
The old
said
jail.
that we're losing a ton of money because people are just walking in right there and up on top of the hill. Who says that we can't ask them to say, hey, we're still willing to give you, all we're asking is for Thursday, Friday and Saturday.
Even Thursday night at Chris Cruzy,
Well,
where we think
whatever,
that they're gonna helping us park people or.
There's always,
Just-
there's stuff to do to still. But
We could easily have them do some of the stuff that, we're paying the facilities guys to, drive around for extra security on those nights, or maybe we give them maybe the pits, they take care of the alcohol in the pits versus the grandstand, because it's a completely separate area, completely separate trailer, whatever. Maybe that $500 that we allocated extra towards them could be, the Fish and Game takes care of these booths, whatever. I think there's 3 or 4 good options.
I
There.
think that the Knights of Columbus is worth money we give them, but I do think that there's other places that we can utilize them to keep them still a part of what we do and still considered, as you said, part of the community.
Assuming they're gonna wanna do that as dumb, we're kicking them out, basically. Like, oh,
I don't
hey,
feel like we're kicking you out.
but here's this new other sort of shiny shop.
We're not giving.
Business. I mean, if we go ahead and we sit here and say the same thing year after year that we're doing and we never get better, how are we supposed to get better and trust that there might do something great? We don't know. But the problem is that we're saying, okay, take that, but we're gonna hold this back on you, on the racetrack. But we never know their full potential. But yet we have the Fish and Game. We can ask them, they already know what we're doing. That there's no secret to it. We told them straight out. Okay, there might be some shuffling. You might not be here. They know that. What I'm saying is that if we give them that opportunity, we're not kicking them out. We're asking them, hey, we don't want to kick you out. We still want you to be a part of this, but here's what we want to try. and trying, I don't think that they're still getting their money. That's what the main thing is for the kids that they want their money for.
Yeah, and if we offer them X amount of dollars and say, hey, this is X, Y, and Z that we're thinking, 2 or 3 things. And say, hey, we'd really like you guys to do this instead. Well, if they say, no, we don't want to do that, well, then that's their choice, right?
Well,
It's
they'll
not-
be just collecting a paycheck and not doing nothing. That's,
No, they wouldn't be.
No, they won't be doing nothing because just like security at night, like even Thursday night when Chris Cruzy's there, we might need help parking, if you could grab 4 of those guys and they're old guys responsible and you could throw them on a golf cart and, hey, can you help park vehicles? There's
yeah.
places we can use them.
If we could go down from 2 or sometimes 3 facilities guys on staff at full pay at, with fringe benefits and everything up into the 30s per hour, where mostly in the evening shifts, unless something's breaking, that's exactly what we're doing. If we could go down to 1, that's $70 that you're recouping every couple hours just by not having that second guy on. So
Spend the bathroom cleaner too.
that's not our
What that
spendy
number
bathroom
is,
cleaner,
like,
that's
what their
your
average
spendy
has been.
bathroom.
Do you have the number that we paid the fishing game last year?
That's
Yeah.
that's next month. We're
Wait,
talking about that.
Like on an average over the last 3 years of what we've paid
He's
to,
looking up
to the
that.
fishing game.
Yeah, and I don't, cause I know people on the fishing game, and I don't wanna create hardship, but I also look at the other side that if we do take it or give it to the raceway,
Bills, right?
there's an upside for us also along with it. There's an upside for them, but there's also an upside for us. And in the business world, if there's an upside for both sides, that's a good thing and not.
And realistically, if the fishing game were to help us in a different way to still have the same outcome in dollars, it's more secure for them doing it this way, because then they're not dependent on the weather.
Yeah.
They're not getting horsed out of the funds. Right, absolutely.
You're done with the beer sales today, how about we say, here's our ideas. Here's where we could see you better utilize, and here's why we want to give racing the beer sales, but here you can still make the money versus saying, well, we already took beer sales away from you, now here's what you could do.
It's kind of the same thing, ain't it?
No, because we don't have to, we're not taking the beer sales away from them today. That's what was just put on the floor, was to take the beer sales away
Right.
from them today.
Yeah, that's what I want. Not what I want. I want discussion so we can move,
Right.
so we can ask these people, because everybody's sitting, calling me, asking me what we're doing, want to plan. We need to take action and I get it. I'm just telling you what I'm hearing. Okay, so go ahead. Keep discussing.
Yeah, no, and
Yeah.
I just,
The way we're going about it, I'm a no. You
yeah.
know, I feel we're taking away from them and saying, here's maybe something else, and I don't feel comfortable.
But to go along with what you're saying, right, essentially kicking the vote down the
And I
road
don't
one
wanna
meeting.
do that either.
But in order to do this and appease it, to do it the appropriate way, right? It seems like there's a collective, out of the discussion that thinks that we present what our plan is to the fishing game. Saying, hey, we're eliminating all risk from you not having these proceeds to go forward with. Locking that in at X number of dollars. If you're willing to assist us with volunteer bodies at these spots on these days for the fair. Because essentially they could do it with the same number of people that they've used to do
It
their
could be
beer
less.
sales,
Could be
or less.
less than a shorter time period too.
But having that plan put in place.
Yeah.
Do we have enough time, being in February, to get that in front of, who's the president? Since the-
Kellen.
Who is?
Kelly.
Well,
Kellen?
even if we had them come in the next March meeting.
Well,
I'm fine, I don't
But
want.
realistically,
my
it's gonna be
idea,
taken
Scott,
care
was
of in
never to
between
take
now and the
money
next
away
meeting,
from the
right?
fishing
And
game.
getting the feedback from the fishing game. But we need
What's so
to,
funny, Em?
we need to know what it is.
That,
I mean, that I'm just kind of spitballing here to, say, hey, everybody wants to move forward, right? We have a plan. We don't wanna upset folks along the way, and change upsets people along the way. But at least present the plan to them and say, hey, one of the biggest reasons that I think this is a good thing for the fishing game is that they're locked into that dollar amount, right? They're not, it's not contingent on weather for them. The racetrack is assuming all that risk.
I just,
Yep.
there's a better way to go about it, I think, than just saying.
Yeah, but the
we took this
fishing,
away, here's some other options to propose. it to
Right.
them, But if we don't have time and it's gotta be decided today.
That's the part I don't know.
well, the
Can we do
fishing
it?
game, they have other avenues besides the fair, you know. You know, they got that fishing contest coming up and then they got,
And the
other
speedway
things.
Too, they have races.
Yeah.
multiple weeks a year.
yeah. So it's not just the fair.
Every nonprofit has their own fundraising opportunities. I totally agree with you. It's just a matter of they've done it for this many years, right? They haven't done anything wrong. We have an opportunity to allow the racetrack to bring more people through the gates, which is better for us, without having them throw a fit and not coming to the fair supporting it, right? So
There's that aspect of it too. There's also the mechanic driving the race car driver's car. Nobody's gonna run the beer tent at the racetrack as smooth as the racetrack itself for being efficient with their POS system, with their, beer sales and everything it's their car. They know how to drive that manual transmission the best. This is my thought process on it.
Was it, so is it something can Derek and Scott or whoever go talk to the fishing game before the next meeting? Or do you want to do it or do we want to do it tonight?
That they know that we're making decisions. They know what's going on. It's been an open book.
Right.
So you guys need to, you guys make that decision. There's a motion on the table right now.
So
And we're having a discussion and then it's gonna turn to a vote. So
do we need to amend the motion to say, give, beer sales to the racetrack and give other opportunities to fishing game?
Have you figured out how much money it was? Yeah.
sorry. You heard it.
to amend the motion the way you asked isn't it,
That's where the conversation's
yeah,
going.
yeah.
So I'm just wondering if that's.
I'm not opposed to that myself, but that does what Scott doesn't want to do and takes it away from them tonight without presenting the options to them.
If they tell us that when you present the other options that they're not interested, well, then we have
Then we
a,
have a different conversation at the fair board and say, are we taking it from them? Because if they say.
Then it's a yes or no because it's decision time, right?
It's decision time.
Is that decision time tonight? That's what we're trying to figure out.
and I'm fine with whatever. It's more what this guy here.
Me personally, I'm in favor of having the racetrack have the beer sales to get more people through our gate.
Well, here's my question for Jen. So they spend another $500 on, their product.
First,
On their purse. How many more cars is that full? Because I keep hearing, since this has been brought up, oh, bring in more cars. How many more cars is $1,000 top bringing?
$500 more, I guess I'd have to ask,
That's
but
my question.
That's data I don't have.
Does it bring in
Yeah.
5 cars? Because there's 5 extra cars, how many extra local people does that bring?
well, and what he said, it's not the local people, it'll be your people from like maybe Minnesota and Dakotas that now would sit there and go, okay, the person's really or is better at Red Cedar, this Friday night, so they're gonna go there on Friday night with them and their family, right, or their crew of guys, and then they're gonna go up to Rice Lake or wherever on Saturday night. Right, so is it
It
5?
brings in more race cars, but how many more people does it bring in? It's having 5
I would say probably per car, you're gonna at least 5 people,
that are coming with the car,
yes.
that aren't paying to get in.
No, they'd pay to get in.
Because they're coming with the car and the pit crew, they're coming. in.
Everybody comes on a car pays.
Yeah, they pay,
They have to pay. That was what.
All the pit crews, all the.
all them pay.
Yeah, Bob was mentioning that last time. Yeah, they all pay. Cause it's just the truck. And that's what he wanted us to make sure that we got out this time instead of him getting yelled at, that.
Everybody in the hall.
He just
pays
wants to-
$5
he just wants to
get
put
in
on
the gate.
Facebook
Yes.
that, yeah, but they
But
pay.
that's one of my.
Everybody crossing the curb pays
Yeah.
So
the
if
fair.
there's 5 extra cars. How many more local people that are in our county are actually gonna come to the races on Friday night.
Depends on how good the driver is.
Like, you know,
Right.
people that go to races are already going racing.
Yeah, but
So how many,
There-
does it really bring in any?
That's why we
Austin,
got.
you need to know that. There's different levels of racing, right?
Yeah, the Dave Shackleton Memorial Race is around $3,000 to win, and on just a normal night, Super Stocks is maybe 700 or 1,000. So just having that big event that Friday night alone versus a Friday night at the fair race is triple the payout. So normally the race attendance doesn't seem crazy big on the Friday night at the fair. I worked that night this year.
What have we been paying Friday night at the fair?
Or to the drivers,
Yeah,
like,
To win.
like $700 instead of 3,000.
We don't pay.
We don't pay nothing, but the
no,
race,
I,
the
what I meant
raceway
was
this
the
year,
ra- what is the racetrack?
this year the raceway is gonna pay $3,000, other years it's $600-700.
It's normal.
So do we need to vote on this? I'm asking you, Derek. Do you want to vote on this tonight?
I would like to move forward, yes.
Okay.
And the reason why is because I'm getting the calls
Yep.
and I'm not trying to go one way or the other.
Yep,
I'm
we're
trying
getting
to
our
say,
fingers here, so we need to keep.
yes.
So there's a motion on the floor.
There is a motion. So unless you're gonna amend that thing, I can't do nothing about it. I'm just telling you what I want to
I
do.
would say we should amend it, so that way, cause right now there's nothing in there.
Your motion to amend is gonna be what?
My motion to amend is to turn the beer sales over to the raceway. But also pay the fish and game the same amount of money on average, what their average pay was, figure out what that was. And have them help us park cars or do other things at the fair, so that way we're not taking any money from them.
Second,
I'll second with a caveat that we need to have a plan for what those other things might be.
a discussion off of that.
I can't take the money away from the fish and game.
We're not.
Okay, I
Motion-
cannot exclude the fish and game from beer sales.
Discussion. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, we done with discussion or? So there's no other motion to, as I heard, to wait another month, right?
Nope, there's no, the motion is on the floor to vote on it.
You wanted it tonight, right?
We need to move forward.
Yeah, I think he needs
Too
to
many
do it.
things going on. So whatever it is, it is.
Yep.
Troy, what are you voting? Go around. Who's in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Four, nay?
Nay.
4-2, it passes. They will get the beer sales. Racetrack.
That's the right way to make decisions.
What's that?
That's the right way to make decisions. Just talk it to death and then
Yep.
vote.
Well, and, but we're
Well, you
gonna
have to.
yeah, we have to. Well, I've talked to the fishing game and I will have them come in. And I will talk to them and ask them if they want to come in and listen. Otherwise, I'll take care of it. Are you guys fine with that?
Yeah.
Not necessarily,
Yeah.
these guys.
Okay,
So
so,
I think if we have a good plan with them and offering them the same amount of money.
so D is done. We discussed the
Yeah.
fishing game and we discussed that, so I will talk to them. Okay, let's move to the Lions Club.
The plan.
Because F and G are done, so we're just gonna move to the Lions Club, or to C here, sorry. The Lions Club. So right now we have them selling beer in the,
Free stage.
yeah, free stage area. Get a vote. They wanna bring in, bingo too. So, yeah, they're trying to do everything.
They do, they want to bring in.
Yeah, so when we had a discussion with,
Wyatt?
yeah, Wyatt, that they had asked, we had talked about bringing in something of that nature. But anyway, the Lions Club, the discussion is that,
So they must obviously do bingo at the Lions Club.
yeah,
Okay. Is there a certain day they want to do bingo?
no, it's just, it's talking with them. Like,
Okay.
that's why I want to get this rolling, because they want ideas of, because I think they did it at, Boyceville that,
Pickle
yeah,
Fest.
yeah, the Pickle Fest.
A great idea
That's
to
a
have them
huge-
come do bingo.
Yeah,
I was actually trying to figure out who we could have come do bingo. That's awesome.
On Sunday, I went to Coyotes and that back room was, I couldn't believe it, just, what's that?
You were there yesterday?
Yeah,
Sandy was there in the back.
I couldn't believe it, that whole back room was just,
we need to make sure that we can have Lions Club in the same spot and then possibly, I have to talk to them, obviously they're coming back in, but we just make sure that they're doing what they're doing. So, discussion,
Do we, have a policy on anything? The amount of beer that's taken to the auction, I mean, can people carry a 12-pack down? Can they bring coolers down?
we
uh,
Does the
talked
line?
that with the Lions Club.
yeah, the Lions Club, if we get this going, the company that they're gonna do their same job, we will talk to them about what our expectations are.
Right.
And they already said that
Yeah.
they could do 6 packs. or
Yeah,
12 packs.
ticket sales and all that stuff that we talked about before.
Okay.
Their motion.
Do we need a motion?
We don't
for
need,
something?
they're
Yeah,
doing the
we're
same
having the
thing.
Lions Club back to do the same
Oh.
thing. I need that motion. Thank you, Jeff. Second,
I'll second.
okay, Larry, okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Perfect. All right.
Can we request that they have bingo?
And can you?
I am requesting, yeah,
Good.
we talked about it.
Bingo.
Bingo, all right,
We can't play.
we're gonna go, yeah, I got Austin on me. Okay, let's, this might be, I want to, is it all right to table I? Or do you want to talk?
What's that?
The manure handling?
We can table that.
Okay, so we're gonna table that. We're gonna go to the iHeartRadio real quick, okay? I just want to get that out of the way. It was fresh tonight. Let's just talk about it real quick. Maybe even make a possible action on that. So where are you guys, discussion about it? Where are you guys at? Heck.
Well,
Oh, sorry.
well, every time I go anywhere or do anything, I never hear too many people listen to iHeartRadio. It's always someone listening to the cities, or they got their Spotify going on, or, they bring their own music. And I guess the only way I could probably get this advertisement is if I change my station to that and hope they play it. But other than that, I don't hear too many people around this area listen to Z100 too much unless it's during the Packer game.
There,
What have we been paying and what are they proposing?
that's
7,000 a year.
7,400.
And their proposal, they said their minimum went up.
No, it's
No,
the same.
yeah.
That's 4,000. That was their minimum. He said.
Yeah,
4,000 was their minimum.
sorry, 4,000 was their minimum.
But that was just for that email deal was the 4,000. Yes.
The-
4,400 on the end.
Yeah, just for him to send out those 2 things of emails was $4,000, cause that's where I figured 2% of 800 people at $5 a piece, we made our money.
We got a new guy. Zach's gonna send that email.
Yeah, I'll do
And
it.
I,
Give me $4,000.
I saw,
Austin.
How about we give you 50
Right.
I saw why none of us were hearing most of those radio advertisements because about 90% of them were either 1 to 5 a.m. or 8 to midnight. And you can look at the mentions and it breaks it down that way. So I do see value in it, but the right hours, the right channels, you promote Chris Cruzy on Moose and B95, and then you promote some of the other race stuff on Z100 or some of these others, but also there's always negotiation with these radio channels.
And I think it's something too to talk to like Johnny about some of this with the raceway and say, hey, we're doing this advertising and we want to advertise for the raceway too. Is the raceway willing to throw
Mhm.
some money at the some of this advertising?
Dave Shackleton Memorial maybe
Right.
covers, 25 or 50% of what that total bill is to us.
That's something I can ask Johnny too.
Okay,
We've had a lot of discussions about all but one thing. And the one thing we haven't discussed is, where are we gonna spend less money?
We're not doing tractor pull, that's
We have
$50,000.
the tractor pull, and we got the bands that we didn't have to pay for at
Okay.
11,700 or 800 last year. We have now 3 of them that are thanks to Jeff and his church and some other people in here,
Okay.
but they have gotten covered, so that bill is now half of what we were before, and we're working on more people to take care of all the bands, and that 10,000, I want to say 800, somewhere in there, it will be hopefully maybe even less than 4,000, but
Well,
we
just
just
that
saved
tractor
ourselves.
pull.
The tractor pull, like you
Tractor
said, that's a
pull will
huge.
break us even by, hopefully by not doing that. 'Cause the
Right.
year that we didn't do it, we were only negative $3,000.
I think we've been going about this extremely well, but we'll still have to spend money to make money.
Yeah.
It's smart, just like we're doing.
My personal. Gotta get the time.
Yeah,
Try it. Maybe next year we can see one that doesn't work. But
When
if they do get out there.
that's a beautiful way of saying it. Are you making
And
a
what do you
motion?
think, like, no, just say, I want to talk to him. And what do you think, like, those email bursts that,
I think everything
All right.
iHeartRadio is doing is pointless. Like, to reach my generation,
Okay,
we
any
never
social
listen.
media?
We never listen to the radio. We listen to Apple Music or Spotify, which doesn't have ads. We look on Instagram and TikTok all day. Like, iHeartMedia information will never, ever, ever get to me or anyone I've ever talked to, besides maybe this group of people.
yeah,
And none of you have seen it.
And I've never listened to the radio either.
Right. So then it's pointless for anyone it matters.
Because we were sleeping when they played it.
Right. So I vote,
Otherwise.
if it was up to me, we'd get rid of them and put our money towards social media.
Instagram ads, Facebook ads, the money does go a long ways there.
You let man run with TikTok.
As long as you'll be in them, I will film all the TikToks you want.
See, and
I will be, I'll be in a TikTok.
I'm kind of in her lane,
yeah.
devoting resources from what we're spending with Clear Channel. So my proposition for discussion would be continuing with Clear Channel, but eliminating the $4,400 we spend with them for the targeted email. Cause in
I'm not so sure.
I get
that does it.
a ton of spam
Most of the
emails,
breaks even went to the
and
math.
if they're guaranteeing their,
We get-
10% open rate, well, that's 3,500 people if they send out 35,000 emails, which is less people than we were reaching if we put it out in the shopper and it went to 10,000. So
Yeah, yeah. I
it's
agree.
the math involved in that.
Yeah.
So, that as a cost savings
Yeah.
to what we're doing and still reaching, I think, the same number of people meaningfully, would be to continue with Clear Channel, but negotiating the correct times
It's iHeart.
or iHeart. Negotiating the correct times and eliminating the targeted email through
Yeah.
iHeart.
I
So
agree.
you making a motion?
So I'll make a motion to continue with iHeart and, negotiating the correct times on the correct channels, for our promotions over radio and eliminating the targeted email.
Is there a second
I'll second.
discussion?
We have a dollar amount then that we're willing to spend, or are we,
Right now, he wants, yeah,
So with that, if our total was 7,000, we'd probably be at their 4,000 minimum.
yeah.
Yeah, they're 4,000 minimum.
Be close.
And we may negotiate,
Yeah,
with that.
bring them
so-
back in. I just need to know if we want to move ahead with them so we can bring them back in to negotiate.
Can I amend your motion? That it would be that we spend $4,500 with a radio channel, but it's not necessarily iHeart. I think we can also bring in the other one so that we can look at Wax. Because of all the local channels, I do think
Wax.
Wax is listened to more often at more, you don't have it quite as much at businesses anymore, but I think Wax, I think we should bring in the others radios and listen to what they have and see which one we can get our best bang for $4,500.
And I do agree with you. I think wax on the egg world. I guess at least in the egg world anyway.
And get Bob Bolsel there.
You got Bob and
Yeah.
you can do the longest part of the.
But I would also say that we're trying to draw other people out. I mean, we are gonna have, well, we are working on the petting zoo thing, correct? And she did, or he, or his, her, whatever. sorry. They emailed us back and said that they were gonna come. And, right? So we're still trying to get another audience out there that normally wouldn't come to the fair. We're not
Correct.
just trying to get,
Midwest Broadcasting owns Wax. 95.9 or 95.7 The Farm now. They own 94.1. They own 98.1. And 92.9. So I could talk to my contacts there and maybe get their manager to come in and speak or get over a
I think it's worth.
and that was your motion, right?
That's my motion.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
do we have a second on that?
No. So do you want me to
Okay.
clarify?
Yes, please.
My motion is to spend $4,500 through radio advertising. And we will get a quote from iHeartMedia and from Midwest Media. And go from there.
Is
Can
there
I
a
amend your motion?
Nope.
Yeah, is there a second?
What, well, just before we second it, what do you,
I don't know how that works.
The second.
You got a second.
yeah.
I'm fine with it, cause I'm going a different direction with the 4,500. I like it. But why don't we go with both? See what their minimum is. And then get it in everybody's ears.
We just spent 40, but we can talk to both of them. We're spending $4,500 on radio, and if we end up doing 2250
We've already
each way,
spent
we do 2250
$7,500.
But we're gonna try and cut some of this money off and advertise, spend more money on Facebook advertising, cause that costs money, Google search advertising. Cause those are the places.
Boosted Facebook
So,
post.
so you'd be more,
Yeah.
so you'd be more comfortable with them coming in next time before we make, to tables this motion, or table this? Yes.
No, we're
No,
gonna, we
we're
can,
gonna
we
vote.
can still do it, because
We're
we're
gonna
gonna spend
vote.
$4,500
Yours gets
on
seconded?
radio.
Not yet.
I'll second his motion.
Okay.
Okay, now say all in favor.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
So we're spending, what we just did is we voted to
I
spend
don't agree with
$4,500
it,
on
I'm just here to listen.
But we're still 3,000,
We changed that.
Derek, but we're still $3,000 on it.
We're done.
All right. No,
I heard him.
we're not gonna save $3,000 because we're still going to spend some money on